So the most important thing that I think people need to know about this ministry is actually referencing the beginning of the ministry. In 2004, when it officially opens, they only had 10 kids that they were taking care of. But going back even further to 2001, when a team, including the late brother Carl Hadley, went there and broke ground on this, I don't know that he could have ever imagined that this ministry would turn into what it has today. It is flourishing, and that's what I want people to know, because many people have been a part of this ministry for the past 18 years, and mostly what we see in America about the ministry is the struggle that they face, the daily struggle that they face. Even I struggle to understand their struggle, but now that I have been and I've experienced just a week in the life that they live, I get it. Life is hard for them. They're in the 8th poorest country in the world, but somehow through God's provision, they're flourishing in spreading the gospel and having joy and giving God the praise through their worship and the way that they live their lives. That's how this ministry is surviving and even flourishing. And so I just want everybody to be encouraged to not give up on this ministry. Don't forget about Shadrach and Gertrude and the call that was placed on them to go and take care of the least of these, because they need all the help they can get. Life for them there's not job opportunities. There's not markets to go to get their supplies. It's what we provide to them, because you can't take care of 200 kids that have no other alternative without going and purchasing their daily needs. And Shadrach and Gertrude have no other way to support that than what the American people are sending to them. So I want you to know nothing is wasted. Don't give up on them. Remember them in your giving. Remember them in your prayers. And just know that big things are happening in Liberia, and specifically through Liberian Ministries that supports the Willie and Wylie Memorial Baptist Children's Village.
Okay, if I'm working and I tell someone, meet me at 3 o'clock p.m. at my office, and we get there, we meet at 3 p.m. But in Africa, if I say meet me at 3 p.m., yeah, 4. Yeah.
That's Liberian.
Yeah. Well, I definitely want to speak highly of Shadrach, because here's a man who could have gone to the most populated, city in Liberia, but he came and got his education in the Panhandle and went back to his hometown, which is a bush area in the village. But what he's created there and done for the community is he's just truly given people a heart for God, and there's a hunger for the gospel in that area. So it's really cool to see that in a place in West Africa where it's a little to nowhere, town that no one really knows where it is. There's thousands of people who are hungry for the gospel because of Shadrach's work there in the village. So I think that that's a cool thing to see.
How does it feel knowing that you contributed to help ensure the stability of those kids that you spent the last 7 days with?
Awesome. That's something that I've always wanted to do in life, is help others, and just a small donation impacted hundreds of people. And now there will be a school that will fully fund the orphanage. And that's just, oh man, it gives me chills. In 1,000-degree weather.
As Americans, we are bored and unsatisfied. I didn't fully understand that idea until I was standing in the village at the orphanage, just in awe. Back home, I simply complain about not having enough, my phone not working, just so many little things, or it's simply just being too hot or too cold. Yet these kids find joy in everything in life. I saw one little boy running around with a little paint roller. These kids, anything they can get a hold of, they hold on to it like it's pure gold, like it's the most valuable thing they've ever had. These kids don't have much, but anything is everything. A cheap bracelet, a piece of candy. These kids are appreciative of every little thing in life. While without realizing it, we take those things for granted. It's a sad reality. We have everything we want and so much more, yet complain about the slightest inconvenience. These people wake up every day and have to face different challenges, yet face them with such strength and positivity. The culture over in Liberia is one that is the total opposite of the culture in America. They are grateful, hardworking, loving, and caring. They are not lazy or unappreciative. They're such a welcoming people group, and they're willing to give up a seat for a total stranger. A huge takeaway for me is definitely to appreciate every season in life. To not take anything for granted. To not let a little bump in the road affect the rest of my life, or affect my day, or how I feel towards someone. This trip has genuinely taught me so much and has opened my eyes up to the possibility of so many different things in life, and I definitely seen things in a different light. So I hope I can share more in the future with you guys and also take you guys along for the journey as well. So, yeah.
3, go! Let's begin your roll. Let's drop the easy
Well, my name is Dawson, and something that was just a common theme throughout the trip that I saw was, as Americans, we're very used to having everything that we need, and most of the time everything that we want as well, and so we never have to rely on really anyone or anything. But going to that area, going to that country, I saw a level of reliance and dependency and desperation when it comes to needs, not even just things that they want. And so seeing how the ministry and what Shadrach is doing there is supply that both spiritually and just feeding people spiritually and making sure that they rely upon God and nothing else. But also just giving them practical needs like health and food and schooling and just setting people up for a better life in general. It was just something that stuck out at every corner that I saw. So.
Mother's driving in Africa.
The speed y'all do. Y'all drive really fast.
I don't know that I've seen him get over 30. Over 30. Yeah. I see. You have to honk the horn.
I think that for me, what's impacted me the most is the quality of health care, or well, honestly, the lack thereof, and the lack of availability of health care. I think about a song that we sing a lot in the States that talks about God being our healer, and I wonder, like, do we really believe that? Because what we really believe in is like the great access to healthcare that we have, and so we
Hey, don't fight. Don't put your hand down. You're online.
Loving others is something that is hard for us to do because people are different, but there doesn't matter if people in the village, there doesn't matter if you're different, they love you the same, and they love us and we love them, and it's hard to interpret, but loving others is something that is easy to do with them, so thank you.
So loving others is the most important thing that people should know, that they do it well, even though their circumstances are different. They love each other well, and they loved us well.
You may have that mother touch.
Tell me your vibe. What's wrong?
You want to get in the oh, I'm sorry, Taylor. You want to get in the shade?
For me, it's definitely the school. Walking through that school, I could feel the passion and the determination of the teachers and the students, the staff, everybody there, that they want good for their community. They want these kids to get the best education they can get. And I see that, and I've always felt very strongly that education is the key to growth in a community or an individual, and that's what they're doing there. They're not just providing an education for these kids a way out, but they're providing an education so that these kids have choices. If they want to stay and help in their community, they can, or if they need to leave, they can do that too. And you see that in that they have 5 graduates from this school come back to be teachers. That is amazing. And when you take that passion that they have for education and wanting better for their children, and you add in biblical studies and Jesus Christ, there is no limit to what this community will be capable of doing. So I have saw firsthand, they don't need us to change them or fix them. They just need the resources to do what they already know to do.
I think that the most important thing that I gained from this trip and that I want others to know is just how genuine and kind the kids are to us and to each other. They take care of each other. Putting a face to the many names that we all heard before makes it so much easier to put an effort and time to this ministry. I'm so grateful for this experience, and I'm just excited to get started to build a school and to put more effort into this ministry.
Is that monkey a baby or no?
You out-climbed the monkey. Man, you did?
Yes.
I'm Melvin.
So who caught him?
Melvin said he caught it. You caught the monkey?
Yes.
Melvin. Melvin's monkey. He caught it in the tree.
In this tree.
Was it moving? Or was it a baby?
Finances. After spending a week living with them and seeing everything they do on a day-to-day basis, they need money. In the area where the mission is, jobs are basically non-existent. And the distance you would have to travel from the mission to find a job, the pay would not even cover travel expenses, being how difficult it is to travel the roads. Liberian Ministry has an amazing plan, and you can see God in everything they do. They just need money to keep the mission going.
Since Jesus Christ came in
and cleanse my heart, of sin. I'm in right, outright, upright, downright, happy all the time.
Hey everybody, my name is Gary Sewell and I'm from Live Oak Baptist Church down near Vernon, Florida, and I've been asked what I thought was a fairly difficult question to answer, namely, since my time in Liberia, what do I believe is the most important thing that I can share about Liberian Ministries? And I gave it quite a bit of thought, and I'm very proud to say that my answer is actually fairly simple, as well as incredibly encouraging for everybody who's wanting to help. And very simply put, it's this: every single red cent, every dime, every dollar that is given to this ministry goes directly to this ministry, 100%. There is no tax, there is no arbitrary percentage that's taken off. Everything that is given goes directly to this ministry, and that is an incredible blessing nowadays, especially if you've looked into several of the corporations out there. So
Oh, holy. Can I hold on to it?
Yeah, it's like, you want to hold on to it? No way.
Wait,
You got it, Jody.
Come on, Miss Jody.
You got it, Jody.
Now walk while they hold it.
No.
Can I try it? Okay. Yeah, you will.
Can you do that and chew gum at the same time?
Hey, my name is Jody Bush. I was one of the mission team members that went to Liberia, Africa to visit Brother Shadrach and Sister Gertrude. I was asked to do a video of what I really want people to understand about the lives of the people that we actually visited in the village. Being a former DOT, retired DOT person, I told Miss Taylor Amerson that I really wanted to talk about the conditions of the roads. Never on a trip did I ever think that you would have to carry 6 men on motorcycles to rescue you and to be mechanics, but that's part of their everyday life. The 200 miles, I think, is what they said we actually traveled. Took us 15 hours because the road conditions are horrible. They have no maintenance of traffic. We were in Monrovia and it was like crazy. They don't have hardly any red lights. I was very thankful for the streets and the highways and things that we do here in Florida. But I do want to make sure that everybody understands that it's every day for them. On our road trips, like we just took one, we planned snacks, we planned drinks, and we took games, and we took tablets. That is not what the people in Liberia do on an everyday basis. They travel on roads that takes them sometimes days to actually get back home. But I want to thank Brother Shadrach and Sister Gertrude for doing the things that they did for us. They went above and beyond to accommodate for our team. And I just want to say this as far as being ready for the next trip. I'm going to move away from the camera because I want you to understand this is going to be what I'll be carrying from now on to be prepared. I'm going to be looking at you. I couldn't find anything that was really good as far as now I'm ready. Let's go. Thank you, mission team. I love y'all, and I appreciate all that you did to make my trip unforgettable.
Yeah.
She said, thank you for coming. What you're doing here, we are making sure our children, they are going to school. And they're learning to become somebody in the future. And then when a woman give birth, and she died after giving birth, then that child, I can take the child. And that's a big thing. And if you guys are not there to support what we do here, then everything won't be the dark. So she said, thank you. This time, The focal of this entire town is turning over to you. The same town, the same way you took me as your friend, as your brother, is the same way you should take everybody as a friend and brother. So this is your own town. You can walk anywhere, talk to anybody. Like you want to sleep outside. And if you want to take a day from the mission to come to sleep here, you are welcome. So tell you welcome and tell everything work for you. Thank you. Thank you. And that's our tradition. And we bring people, we bring them to the chief to tell them that we had there because you people are not just my strangers alone. You are guests of the entire town. So they got to know. And it's not anything but it's the respect that I got to give for. So what we usually do, they will give you a cola nut. You don't know what cola nut is, but it's a cola nut with pepper. You know, that one they will welcome you and you got to eat it.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you listening?